there's not that want to get rid of or be done with Draymond Green, right? Like they still want to have those core players here. But my question would be why? Why? And now here's the answer. Well, it's everything else he brings. I know he punches people in the face sometimes, but truly, without him, we wouldn't have that spirit, that soul to this squad, and he brings us to that extra level of, mentally and physically.
I mean, I think the answer is he's really good. I mean, he's a really good player. And by the way, someone in our Discord just mentioned this. I wanted to bring this up. You know who are the favorites to sign him if he does not?
Lakers?
Excuse me. If he does not re-sign with the Warriors, the favorites to sign him?
Lakers. He? Who? Wait, let me guess. Hold on.
Let me give you
How have I not seen this?
Let me give you a hint. The Vegas favorite.
No, that's a Vegas loves drama. No, that's so stupid.
That's the Vegas thing. I'm not saying that's true or there's no report indicating, but why does that make you so sick?
It doesn't. It doesn't make me sick. I really appreciate Draymond for what he can do on the floor. And I think that's like his timing on screens, his timing on sometimes it's a moving screen, his timing on passes, his timing defensively. Like there's a lot of smart things that he does that I just love when a player adds
the
that.
Intangibles too, though, just the emotions, getting after it, playing physical, playing with an edge.
Totally. And that can bring up an entire squad like we've seen before. I have a very hard time through my time playing with teammates that are insane and playing and watching basketball players that just don't have it mentally. Like truly, they can't keep it together. And with Draymond Green, I was fine with it for the longest time. And I feel like more and more it's gotten out of hand. And when I say out of hand as a viewer, I don't think it's out of hand to officials. I don't think it's out of hand to the league necessarily, unless stomping is involved and he has to be suspended for an entire playoff game. But I look at everything else and they have a different standard for Draymond. And I think that also bothers me because I am about fairness. I like equality. I like all of the above, right? And right there, it's like, oh, this player gets to do that because he's gained your respect, or you can't eject him every game. Why are we doing this for this guy? It's the same thing that we see when guys are driving to the basket. Steph Curry gets that call all the time and so doesn't. I just want the game to be called fairly when it's on the floor. And when he's screaming in someone's face and someone else gets pumped up and screaming in someone's face, they both better be technicals. It just grinds my gear.
But I also think about what he could provide. And one, his just
I get it.
relationship with Mike Brown, what he does defensively, gets after it,
as
plays
a basketball
with an edge.
fan, I just don't. I don't feel
Good
like
passer.
I don't feel like rooting for it. It's just not fun for me.
I think the real issue here is I just would not want, if I were the Kings, to commit to him for like a 4-year deal. And I think that's what he would want. I'd be like, I'll give you 2. But I don't think he would take something like that. But I just could not commit to 4 years with the mileage he has.
Why would he even come to Sacramento?
Mike Brown. And I mean, I don't know what his options. Maybe it'd be like, hey, they're overpaying him dramatically.
Yeah.
Mike Brown's the biggest one. He knows people on this coaching staff, and he has respect for De'Aaron Fox. The guy wants to compete. This team is on the rise.
I'm always down to have that little nasty on the team and just like that will get after it, be that dog. But I also think there's different ways to have that mentality without crossing the line.
I want nice people. I want nice people all the time. I want you to just agree with every call and get back on defense.
Hey, we need some edge.
What the shit?
We need some more. Okay, here's a question from the chat.
What?
Here's a question from the chat.
What?
From the young Asian. Dillon Brooks or Draymond Green?
Neither. So, and I knew, and that was going to be my
Okay.
next point.
Oh, okay.
My next point,
Okay.
because as soon as all the Dillon Brooks stuff came out and it was reported, the team will not bring back Dillon Brooks under any circumstances, while another guy is getting caught on IG Live with another gun. We will talk about that in a second. But truly, when I look at Dillon Brooks and Draymond Green, and you are empowering both, but in talking about both the idea of them coming to Sacramento, yeah, you have flirted with that.
No,
yes, you have.
Because look at
See?
let me hear me out.
What?
I have not been a Dillon Brooks fan over the years. I think he takes bad shots. I think he is slightly overrated defensively. Although,
Thank you.
Guess what? NBA voters voted him on the all-defensive team this year, all-defensive second
And not
team.
Marcus Smart. Yeah, so let's trust
Okay.
that vote.
Okay. And this is probably where I give too much credit to coaches sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I do. I just think Mike Brown gets the best out of people. All right. And not every player is going to. I can make the case for both. Like, I can make the case for either one. Like, for Dillon Brooks.
All right, we're in court. Make your case.
Let me make it clear.
Okay.
I would not advise the Sacramento Kings to sign Dillon Brooks.
You're already making a bad case.
No, that's my disclaimer before I started.
Oh, okay.
Because people are going to clip this and make it a thing. And I don't want.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the case for Dillon Brooks in Sacramento would be he's experienced. He does play hard. You need that dog, and maybe a new environment, someone that fosters a family environment, that fosters accountability, and the chance to start anew. He understands everything that's been talked about with him. And maybe this is kind of a look in the mirror moment, and Mike Brown can get the best out of him. If you get the right Dillon Brooks, and here's my point. You know what? Here's my biggest thing with this whole shit that irritates me with Dillon Brooks. Is Dillon Brooks an NBA player?
Your Honor, can I answer
Yes.
that?
The role play's over
Yeah.
now. Is Dillon Brooks an NBA player?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. This is what's going to happen. He's going to go somewhere to like Miami. It's going to work out. And everyone's like, man, Dillon Brooks, all he needed was this. You could be that team. It doesn't always have to be the other team like Miami to take a chance. It doesn't always have to be a team that
I understand.
You have to roll the dice.
I completely understand that. And those teams, though, that you're talking about have established a culture, have established a standard. And that is something that Mike Brown has started to do. It doesn't have the years under it, and I'm not putting like a certain timeline under it, but it just like, let's put a little bit of a track record that it works, and it can work with players like a Dillon Brooks. But I mean, what makes you think that that's going to stop Dillon Brooks from hitting someone in the wiener? Like what?
Okay,
like,
and you're right. That stuff is annoying.
or in the
for
balls
sure.
or whatever he did. Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, I don't know why you said the wiener. The wiener. No, that's a part of his game, and that part, yes, for sure. The dirty stuff, I get.
That's
really
deflating for an
It
entire
is.
team
But you know what?
organization.
I get more irritated with the other the bad shots. I don't know, and maybe I'm too. I live in this world where I go, oh, a new opportunity can mean a completely different guy, and maybe he is just who he is, and that's the challenge with him, right? But if he doesn't change, if he continues to kind of be that guy that's hitting guys in the nuts and taking bad shots, he's going to bounce around the league, and then he's going to be out of the league. Like, he has to change a little bit. But I also think you have to acknowledge he has been a starter on a good team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
He's not a champion, but he's been on a good team.
You know, and when we talk about people needing to change, like, yeah, Dillon Brooks, because of the caliber of player that he is, he has to change or he will be out of the league. Someone obviously like Russell Westbrook, think about all those years that and I'm not talking about a mentality thing or dirty player thing. I'm more just talking about, think about all the years that we talked about. He needs to change or he's not going to be able to, be a starter anymore in this league or whatever it was about Russell Westbrook. And the difference is Russell Westbrook will always have a spot and people will always see him as special because he has accomplished so much and he's obviously such a high tiered player, basketball, whatever words. But Dillon Brooks truly is a role player in this league. And I think he wants to believe that he is more. And that's fine to have that belief in yourself. But then but do it. Like actions speak louder than words or what you actually believe. Like be about it and become more than a role player. But he's just not. He's not more than that. And I don't think he will be.
But I don't think you need him to be more than the perfect Dillon Brooks situation.
In Sacramento, he would think that he was a lot more.
And that's fine. You could say that. And I would agree with that if that was 3 years ago. But the Kings have like changed some things with Mike Brown. They have a complete buy-in with the players. And yes, I understand one guy in there could mess a little things up, right? But I think Dillon Brooks, it's crazy how people talk about, and I'm not the biggest Dillon Brooks fan, but people are talking about him like he is complete trash now. And I don't know. I just think people can change. You never know.
Yeah.
When things happen to you in your life, like what got leaked out about him and how they're not bringing him back under any circumstances, that's gonna
so damaging.
That could get you at, and it could hit home and it cause you to reflect. It could cause you to change in some ways. You just never know. And as far as Draymond, I mean, I think my biggest concern with him going into a team that's not Golden State is just his attitude. Is he going to be the guy that acts like, look, do it my way. You guys don't know. I'm better than you because I've won championships. That's kind of my fear with him if the Kings were ever interested in him. But as far as like what he brings just on the floor, he's exactly the type of player the Kings would need. A guy who knows how to pass, knows the offense, plays hard defensively, great defensively, can guard bigs, can guard multiple position, plays with an edge. Like he's exactly what you would need. It's just the other stuff.
He's exactly what a lot of teams could use. I mean, that's like he's that anchor and he does.
But to that point though, he is who he is.
Yep. Will never change. That is him.
That's him.
That you get.
Draymond, and he's not. And that's also part of what makes him, I think, a good player, right? And he is a player that he's never going to be the best player on your team. We saw when Steph and Clay were hurt. He was not totally happy all the time. He wants to be able to compete at a high level, being in a competitive situation.
And that's why, don't you think he is what he is, even like with the caliber of player around him? And that's what elevates his game to another. I mean, obviously, it elevates anyone's game to another level.
Yeah, but there's talent here.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm not taking that away from him, but I do. But you just said it. Like his frustrations with not playing at a high level, even if it's him or if it's the players around. Like there's just so many deflating things that I think sometimes need to be up there on your
no, because I think I actually see the good in people, unlike somebody here. Apparently, I highlight all the pros of Draymond Green. I'm hearing is, he talks to officials. He does this. He does that. Guess what?
He punches teammates in the face. What's your excuse there,
Morgan? They've still won. Like I don't know. Like it's not like this guy has been. He's played on 17 teams. You know how many teams he's played on in the NBA?
I get it.
One team.
We're not, but here we don't need to go back and forth about this, but you can't act like I don't see those other things in him.
Okay.
And I truly, I don't even think he's a bad human being or anything.
He's not.
That's what I'm saying. So like stop. I see the good in Draymond.